Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for joining us in our virtual community this evening. Welcome back to your shul. Please join in turning to page 127 in our Siddur. If you do not have a physical copy, please find a virtual PDF version on our website's virtual tab using a split screen or an additional device. You are invited to follow and sing and pray along with me. Page 127. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that could never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. Turning to the top of 129, we meditate on the sweetness we hold for the Creator, reflected in love. Dodi Lee. Must have been at least 100 years. I must have cried an ocean of tears. We wandered through the coldest, darkest night. You were waiting for me there, spark of light. we continue in our Sidurs on page 138. In this prayer, it is our tradition to sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Arriving at verse 9, we stand and face the entrance of our sanctuary and bow, making space, making room for the Sabbath bride and anyone else who might need to wander in.
Shabbat Kabbalat lechadoti lekrat kala peni Shabbat Kabbalat lechadoti lekrat kala peni Shabbat Kabbalat lechadoti lekrat kala peni Shabbat Kabbalat shamor v'sachor Shmi'anu el ham-yuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shemu tiferet v'tefillah. L'chadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nikabela. L'chadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, ki hi mekor ha'beracha, me'rosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. L'chadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nikabela. L'chadodi likrat kala, Shabbat nikabala, boi v'shalom ha'ateret bala, gam b'samcha u'v'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, l'chadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nikabala. L'chadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nikabela.
Turning together to page 142, we prepare to thank and celebrate the angels who guide and protect us as we make our way to Shabbat each week. As we celebrate the joy and the privilege we share in coming together as a community this Shabbat, we must recognize the loss and devastation COVID-19 has had on our country and our world. We take this opportunity to read the names of essential workers who are angels in our midst. Tonight, we are honoring these nurses: Marie Delaparte, Christina Dubois, Teresa Eggers, Lindsay Miller, Jay Mountier, Cindy Pomerantz, Helen Powers, Joni Savago, Lucinda Siegel, Christina Snell, Ashley Wallace, Ben Wilder, Elisa Williams. Honoring these doctors: Linda Brandon, Amy Cagiula, Joe Cohen, Shani David, Elliot Dresnick, Lee Gerson Friedman, Nicholas Friedman, Stephen Grossman, Elan Haley, Jan Hoyt, Steve Kaplan, Howard Leifer, Liz Levine, Aaron Daniel Levitt, L. Levitt, Noah Alexander Levitt, Richard Levy, Matthew Lorty, Hannah Mittenberg, Wendy Parrish, Stephen Schwartz, Andrew Yanowski, Martin Krakauer, Jonathan Sumber. Our healthcare workers, Yisrael Aga, Jenny Bryant, Dara Clausen, Bar Levi Romer, Catherine Monsky, Joseph Schwendeman, Amy Skorka, Maureen Terranova, Jaron Widham. First responders, Ryan Coletti, Mark Donchek, Stephen Fleischer, Don Hughes, Karen Leader, Abe Markowitz, Anthony Schleuderer, Russell Seymour, Kahana Skolnick. Education professionals, Sandy Albelli, Cindy Binney, Kara Levine Brenner, Carolyn Sertinsky, Lauren DePola, Molly Levine Hunt, Jim Hunt, Tammy Logan, Joanne Miller, Tracy Pollock, Cameron Robb, Lauren Rose, Erin Swan, Sue Worthman, Karen Zrak, Brett Zuckerman. Our social workers and mental health professionals, Andrew Binney, Charlie DeGeorge, Anastasia Duval Yonetti, Jenna Lee Fish, Dara Heinlein, Deb Jones, Stephen Kahn, Lauren Pettis, Julie Stein Mikowski, Sherry Tessler. Our grocery staff workers, Jill Smith, Mike Becker, Matthew Wilder. Technicians, mechanics, and maintenance professionals, Mike Brewer, Brian Lestrange. And transportation, Danny Miller. May you arrive in peace.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Teitchem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
As we celebrate the joy and the privilege we share in coming together, we will take some space and some time for meditation. Those of you who studied with Rabbi Yael on Tuesday morning will remember taking time with this phrase this past week. Et ha Elohim heit halech Noach. And Noah walked with the source of creation. As we take our time here and make a space to reflect on this question, what does it mean for us to walk with the divine?
Lai, 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 lai,
Please join me on page 144 for the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkadav v'yitkadash Shmei Rabba be'alma divrach hirutei ve'yamlich machuti b'chayichon uvyomechon uv'chayetecho beit Yisrael bagala bagala uv'zman kariv
Yesh me Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam Ulol Me'ol Maya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei Dekudesha, Berech Hu, Le'ila Min Kol Birchata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, V'nechemata, Damiran Be'alma, Ve'imru, Amen.
Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. Turning to page 146, we face Jerusalem as we call one another to formal worship. Please join me at the bottom of page 149. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my sister, my brother, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly. On the border of light, what lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
Baruch atah Adonai Hamari Varavim.
Our Shema is flanked by two prayers of ahava, of love. First, the love that we receive, ahavat olam. And then after is the love that we share, ve'ahavta. Please join me at page 150.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Otam chavta Am chavta אותך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם ולילה, נגי יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto le'olam va'ed. 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 Lai, 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 lai,
Julius Lester reminds us that Judaism is a doing which can be grasped only by the heart. Page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one source in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our source, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then we shall rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Page 158. Moving to 161. Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our source. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Looking to the facing page, we ask the source, grant us peace. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Uvos aleinu sukat shlomecha ushmor tzeitzenu uvoheinu. Uvos aleinu sukat shlomecha ushmor tzeitzenu uvoheinu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo In an envelope marked personal, God addressed me a letter, and in an envelope marked personal, I gave my answer. Please join me on 164. As we prepare for the silent Amidah. The Amidah will continue in a whisper, ending on page 180.
Adonai tzuri v'goli. May the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. Yehiyu ratzon imrefi v'hagyon lebi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri v'goli. Adonai tzuri v'goli. Adonai tzuri v'goli.
178.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen.
Page 371. We now have the opportunity to open our hearts to those in need of healing in our community. We ask for healing for Abel ben Rachel v'David, Craig Albailey, Susan Bosch, Miles Brackman, Daniel Jules Brenner, Andrea Klein, Audrey Cohen, Barbara Cohen, Phoebe Cohen, Adele Corvin, Tyler Corvin, Louis Costello, John Gautier, Stephen Gutterman, Judy Jacobs, Seth Kerr, Mary Jane Klein, Lou Klein, Ben Reyes, Kristen Riley, Claude Schleuderer, Robin Stone, Ellen Vogelov, Ben Wilder. We offer continued healing, holding these members in our hearts: Todd Albailey, Tommy Anderson, Jan Benet, Deborah Brenner, Joe Callie, Michael Corvin, Vanessa Durant, Steve Fine, Marvin Feldman, Cheryl Fitzsimmons, Barbara Gallagher, Francine Glasser, Mark Greenberg, Marcia Hamburg, Valerie Henderson, Danny Joseph, Heather Kedar, Marty Cantor, Anita Cantor, Heather Kite, Jill Levy-Corley, Charles Lippman, Naomi Lurie, David Mallon, Danielle Mass, Sandy Mel, Joanne Moore, Andy Murkoff, Marshall Nadan, Catherine Nicholson, Neva Nutzi, Steve Perlmutter, Antoinette Phelan, Lillian Rich-Schuster, Dave Rosenthal, Evelyn Rosenthal, Kyle Rothkeb, Barbara Sahlberg, Henry Sanderson, Shirley Schneider, Deborah Sears, Phil Sears, Sloan Shortley, Michelle Simon, Charles Lutsky, Elaine Trott, Mark Trott, Nancy Walsh, Sandy Weiner, Karen Wilder, Mac Williams, Scott Zimler. Please join me on 371 in your prayer books. You can also find this text below your live stream.
Mi shebeirach avotinu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Mi shebeirach imotinu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Bless us with the vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Mi shebeirach avotinu, mi shebeirach imotinu. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
Here we are. The whole world was just created last week, and the Creator is already preparing to start anew. We really messed up. In chapter 6, verse 7 of this week's portion in Genesis, the source roars, "I will blot out man whom I created from upon the face of the earth, from man to cattle to creeping thing to the fowl of the heavens, for I regret that I made them." Verse 8 continues, "But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord." These are the generations of Noah, the text reads. Noah was a righteous man. He was perfect in his generations. Noah walked with the source. Noah walked with the source. Et Elohim het halech Noach. Early in this service, we reflected on what that might mean for us. What it means for us to walk with the source of creation, not to run, not to stand with, but to walk with the divine in our midst. After we have faltered, seeing our own nakedness and stepping from the path of the source towards that of evil. This early in the game, what are we to do now? What is our responsibility? Surely it isn't roll credits, although it seems that way. This predicament peels back a few truths of humanity as we are experiencing them for the first time. It was said that Noah was perfect. Is this how we too can walk with the divine? Through reaching for perfectionism? Rabbi Abraham Isaac Cook teaches us, there is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. I offer that in letting go of reaching for perfectionism, we must make space for which we allow ourselves human imperfections, and that this grace that we give ourselves can be a conduit to the divine. Experiencing our downfalls, our mistakes, our shortcomings, these can uncover truths previously hidden from us. Although these happenings can feel painful and very unholy, they can also allow us to create space for the sacred, choosing to rise after we have fallen, to march on, unable to see the end of the road ahead, our strengths that serve us as we travel down all avenues. Committing to progress, especially in the face of defeat, can help to make walking alongside the divine rather simple. Our next step forward, regardless of how small, are those which matter.
Lo alecha hamlecha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor, lo alecha hamlecha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor, velo ata ben chorin vehitpatel mimena, velo ata ben chorin, velo ata ben chorin lehibatel mimena, velo ata ben chorin.
It is not your duty to complete the work, neither are you free to desist from it. Another translation we find, it is not incumbent upon you to complete the work, but neither are you at liberty to desist from it. While decoding these ancient Hebrew passages, we must inspect all possible translations. Our rabbi offers, it is not upon you to complete the work, but neither are you to desist from, or more directly translated, cancel it. Here in Pirkei Avot, Rabbi Tarfon teaches that we will not be perfect, like Noah was perfect. We will not be able to solve all the problems of the world, or even those within ourselves, without faltering along the way. However, these truths do not give us permission to sit out, pass the buck, or look for an easier way out. Our Judaism demands quite the opposite. Another of Rabbi Tarfon's teachings in Pirkei Avot has been one that, from my first reading, has stayed with me. Sometimes an idea sticks with you, and you're not sure why, but as you grow and as you change, their meanings do the same, creating a well-lived-in room within your mind. The day is short, the labor vast, the toiler's idle, the reward great, and the master of the house is insistent. Another translation. The day is short, the work is plentiful, and the laborers are indolent. And the reward is great, and the master of the house is insistent. Our Rabbi Romer suggests that the term laborers be read as workers, giving us more personal ownership to these responsibilities. I found these words, the day is short, the labor vast. I found these words scrolled in a notebook of my adolescence as I did the very 2020, 30-year-old living at home activity of cleaning out my childhood closet. Feeling lucky to have all these memories safe in one place, I reflected on the young woman I was, writing these words down after dog-earing them in my prayer book during a high holiday service. I was sitting right there. I remember it clearly. I couldn't make sense of all of it then, and maybe not now, even, but it has always attracted me. And even last week, my parents and I toyed with it at the breakfast table, shaking it as if it were a snow globe, turning it to look from all directions. The line that was catching me up is, the laborers are idle, the laborers or the toilers idle, thinking to myself, hey, surely I'm not lazy or idle. But if we allow ourselves a space to be vulnerable, dropping defenses, we may see that our lives are missing a sense of urgency. We use distractions, distracting ourselves with the common and profane. This can pull us from opportunities to share our talents and diminish them. As we return to our beginnings, as we do this time of year, and reflect on our unavoidably imperfect humanness, we can find comfort in that, looking to our left, and looking to our right, and looking within our hearts. We are not alone in this wild and winding path. In doing so, we can not only find our footing forward with the source of creation at our side, we also cultivate a richness that reverberates from our souls to support one another as a community. Can you feel it? I do. Please join me on page 587, facing Jerusalem, we pray the Aleinu. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגור עלינו להמליך מלכותו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך Page 591. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We have come to the time in our service for our weekly announcements. Tomorrow, Saturday morning, begins Minyan at 10 a.m. I will be here. Sunday morning, our annual Fall Gala. This year, we are holding in honor of Dave and Evie Rosenthal on November 7th, starting at 7 p.m. A virtual and exceptional affair with a virtual live concert, accessible journal, and many surprises. Order your ticket now and help us honor our long-time dedicated community members. Another wonderful way to participate in this year's gala is by placing a journal ad with a note to Dave and Evie. Journal ads are still being accepted, so if you have not placed yours yet, there is still time. For full details on this gala, to order tickets or submit a journal ad, please see our dedicated gala webpage. Our new solar energy fundraiser campaign and savings program is ongoing. Contact Jessica, Rabbi Yael's assistant, if you want more information on the program. If you know an essential worker who should be honored, please send us their name and occupation. Our building remains closed, but we are available by phone or email, so please reach out. You can find more information on Congregation Emmanuel of the Hudson Valley's website, www.cehv.org, or contact our main office by phone. Please find your way to 593. The light of life is a finite flame, like the Shabbat candles. Life is kindled, it burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, and in light we are seen. The flames dance, and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down in gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory. Slowly fading into the darkness with our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and of life. Our hearts are with Carmel Gold and the Gold family as Jeff let go on his hold of life this morning. The funeral will be held Sunday at 10 a.m. at a private graveside service. Carmel would be comforted by the congregation's virtual participation. Please find a link in the email provided to you today. The congregational Shiva
will be held virtually this Thursday, beginning at 6:30 with our minyan at 7 p.m. And earlier this week, we sustained another loss in our congregation. We are holding the family of Renee Sachs in our hearts. We are with the Bitts family on the recent passing of Ken's sister, Marianne, as they are observing their Shloshim, and with all the families observing their Shana for their loved ones. Page 598, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei Rabbah. Excuse me. So too do we weave in the memory of the loved ones of our community who have died in this year, in seasons past. Sophie Bosch, remembered by Eli Bosch. Samuel Beck. Alice Benes Slonim, remembered by Julie Stein-Mikowski. Doro Carmel. Gerard Consiglio. Benjamin Epstein. Peter Goldfarb. Louis Himes. Ida Lipschutz. Evelyn Kerr. Hannah Kreisberg. Alexander Saul Miller. Polly Ruth Miller, remembered by Martin B. Miller. Herbert Nadan, remembered by Marshall Nadan. William Rubin, remembered by Diana Rubin. Sarah Jane Schwartz. John C. Sedlak, remembered by Donna Trask. David Weidner, remembered by Celeste Brunel. Henry Wolfe, remembered by Felice Gasul. Please join me on page 598 as we recite the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei ve'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ulalmei almaya. Yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal. Shmei dekudesha barich hu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma ve'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol b'nei Adam, ve'imru amen. Please join me on page 645. As we close our service for this evening, taking a look at Rabbi Tarfon's words once again. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, velo ata ben chorin lehibatel mimena. It is not your duty to complete the work, but neither are you free to test from it. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Vayhi erev, vayhi voker, Yom HaShishi, Vayechulu Hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzva'am v'chol Elohim bayom hashvi'i melakto asher asa vayishpot b'yom hashvi'i mikol melakto asher asa v'yivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i v'kaidesh oto kivo Shabbat mikol melakto asher bara Elohim la'asot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Hamotzi lacha min haaretz. We give thanks to the source for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lacha min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.